Hello and welcome the audience to the Generation of Women, and I'm Jeanine from Seenus. Can we be the generation that stops history and starts to transform what needs to be changed? Can we be the generation that stops repeating history and starts to transform what needs to be changed? So what do I mean with this? Looking at the current situation, we almost have two streams in the world, really two streams. We have ones that feel protective when they do the activities that are told by the government that will protect us from corona. They feel defensive and attacking if other people are not following the activities that are meant to keep us safe. And then we have the other stream and the other group. They are very protective when it comes to democracy or to their freedom. So they feel it's not about corona at all. It's about something very different. And governments and globally, we are not playing a fair, safe game. We are doing something that is threatening our freedom. So one stream feels absolutely threatened if the other stream or other group is not wearing masks, is not following the activities as we have been told. And the other stream, they feel extremely threatened if they are not looking at different news. They say, grow up, don't be such a child, don't believe in anything you hear, don't believe in mainstream media, just look different sources. Can you not inform yourself more? Don't you see what is happening? I feel threatened because you are not growing up and you are not behaving the way I want you to behave so that I can keep my freedom. The other group says, I feel threatened and I need to attack you because you are not wearing masks or anything that activities are told to do. You are behaving also like a child, like a rebellious child, because you are threatening my safety. So I need to defend myself and I need to attack you, that my safety is guaranteed. Underneath those streams always lies deep fear. So of course we know that transformation is an inside-out process. And we also know that we want to have a world that is peaceful, a world that is free of war. We want to have a world that is a better place to live in. And we want to have a world there is more light and more love than fear and darkness. So what is happening right now is not the world actually that we all want and that we are voting for, that we are working for, at least when we're on a conscious path. So what does it take in order to break free from those streams? Awareness is the first thing, because what happened in history, religions were fighting against each other because you had that religion X and the other had that religion Z. So we had to fight each other. And then there were colors. And finally now, and luckily people are going on the streets so that we have no diversity in colors anymore. But then there were colors. So I need to defend my color and attack your color, because if you are not having my color, there's something really wrong. I'm threatened in my own sense of freedom or whatever. Or I need to feel superior, or I need to feel stronger, but it's all coming from a point of lack. It's all coming from a point of unsafety. It's not coming from a place of us where we feel strong, where we feel safe, where we feel free. It's definitely not happening. So what I want to say with this video clip, can we be the generation that stops repeating history and starts to transform what needs to be changed? Can we? Can we stop right now and start in, no matter what kind of stream you feel yourself more resonance in, can we have a conversation with our family, with our aunties, with our mothers, with our parents, with our children, with our colleagues, even when we are different, even when we are threatened by two different aspects of life? Look at our own fears, can express ourselves, and even express our differences, and still go out with open arms, with an open heart, and a more quieter mind, and be, as Eli Jackson Bear says in his online retreats, on and on again, a true friend for each other and a true friend to ourselves. How does it look like? Does it look like that we post on social media aggressive posts of something that we don't agree with, of something that threatens our belief system, of something that we feel we have to shoot against? Or can we launch and post posts on social media that are more embracing and that come to only one goal, or that leads to one goal only, to one vision only, uniting together, coming together, collaborating together, being together, creating more peace than war, creating more light than darkness, creating more love than fear? And that is with every decision, with every word spoken. Sorry, I have something that is tickling on my nose. That's why I'm just rubbing my nose so much. Coming back to the line, can we make a choice to say, this is what I want. This is the world that I want. Peaceful, loving, united, stronger together. What am I saying right now? How am I communicating? How do I feel right now? How do I try to defend myself? How am I attacking my other right now? I had so many fights with my sweetheart, or with my mom, or with girlfriends. But now I really came to a point we can almost sense our differences, our opinions. We touch it, but we immediately come back to a oneness, to a unity. And what was one aspect that really struck me and that touched me and I got goosebumps. My sweetheart was on a demonstration in Berlin just recently. I've never seen him so peaceful, so loving, so embracing as when he was there and came back shortly. So he posted me text messages, or he just sent me WhatsApp voice messages, parallel to his voice messages that really gave me such, because he was so full of love and reaching out to me from that spot and that space, that I was overwhelmed with just really gratitude. And then at the same time, I hear one of the news. It's one of the most serious news mainstream media that we have in Germany. It was very aggressive. It was just capturing, maybe there were some really aggressive moments. Maybe there was also a perspective of people didn't act the way that they should have acted. They crossed boundaries. But from the people I saw, and they spoke from the demonstration, there was a very peaceful way what they radiated. And I got goosebumps when I saw the news parallel to what my sweetheart said. Now, I don't want to say that every demonstration is right. And I don't want to say that all those who are on the stream of fighting for democracy and for freedom and against governments are right. I don't want to say of the other stream that is the same, because we are humans. We can never completely say that we are free of the spiral of ego, that we are free of the spiral of fear. But you can feel it in the people, how they communicate, how they radiate, what it does to you. And the same is what you do to yourself and what you do to your others. And if we take this seriously, we want to have a peaceful world. We want to be the generation. We want to be the generation that stops repeating history and starts to transform what needs to be changed. So in this moment, can I unite the way how I communicate? Can I embrace the way how I communicate? Can I bring together even if I feel differently? What is the essence? The essence that in essence, we all want the same. In essence, we all have different fixations. Yes, there are some really big shadow parts that you hear about people, what they're doing, that you would just not in your wildest dreams be capable of doing. That is absolutely right. And there is a right to be angry, and there's a right to be full of rage or sadness or fear. But what are we nurturing right now? What from now on are we doing with our friends, for ourselves, with our communities, with our colleagues, to stop repeating history? And how are we posting on social media? How are we holding open spaces for open dialogues? How are we holding a sense of peace and sadness and being touched or being shocked? We can all have those feelings. If there would be a human being, like an oval, omnipresent human being, who wouldn't have good intentions for the world, so what would he do? He would just create two groups, religious groups, color groups, corona, freedom groups, and he would just give impulses in both of those groups. He wouldn't have, or she wouldn't have to do anything, because the groups would always fight against each other, defend, attack each other. So there would always be war. Would this omnipresent imaginary person have to create anything that brings war into the countries? No. We just need to have someone who just is nurturing two streams, extreme streams, so that they keep fighting against each other. Can we be the generation that stops history and changes, or starts to transform what needs to be changed now and now and now? And can we start communicating in a way that is embracing, uniting, expressive, vulnerable? Can we? I have a hard time sometimes. I really do. They're human moments. I wish that those who are not in my belief system are going against the wall, are going to be so shocked, are going to lose whatever they thought that is important. And do I act on it? No. I know it's a shortcut gratification that will not help me at all. At all. And I tell you in the end a story where I really learned to not go on those impulses of my ego. When my ex-husband left me for a beautiful, another woman, I was so hurt because we had fought for living in California together. And I, of course, when you're so hurt, you just wish the worst for both of them and for him. And I heard from, I had a lawyer, he was a very mean lawyer. And I heard what would happen if he would go that way. So I put the phone down. I was so happy at that time we still had a phone. I did have a mobile, but I think I was on the phone, on those one old nostalgic phones. And I called a friend, he was not there. So I talked on his answering machine. And I was so happy how I could destroy his life and the life of the new woman he chose. I still feel a little bit embarrassed about that, not a little bit, I felt very embarrassed about that, but it was a really big learning. So I was so happy, but I also needed that happiness just by myself, that there would be a power that I could destroy him and his new loved one for what he had done to me. The next day I woke up and I said, okay, that was your luxury, Jeanine. That was the moment of truth you need to have for the human hurt you are carrying to heal. And now you change your lawyer and you look for a new one and you look for peace. So I went that road and it took a lot of commitment, a lot of inner work to not go into fight, in attack, in being right, in feeling better about myself and feeling worthy. He had a very, very beautiful, she still is a very beautiful woman. And years later, we made peace. I think we are really good friends. We have our differences. We are working together now. We have differences. But in our soul, we are really great together. And he has brought me into some wonderful new opportunities professionally. And I have brought him into wonderful opportunities. Now, if I would have gone that road, it would have been war until the end of my life with a bitter heart. I don't want that. I'm 53 today, and I'm believing that I have a fortune to look not so old, don't say young, because I'm not carrying the bitterness in my heart, so I'm not carrying the bitterness in my face. And I always look for forgiveness and for uniting together. And forgiveness, because I'm a student and teacher of A Course in Miracles, happens by undoing our thoughts, undoing our beliefs. So can we undo today the thought of separation? Can we start to focus on what unites us and brings us together? On this positive note, have a beautiful, soulful, and joyful, united rest of your day. And talk to you beginning of September when a new talk show coming up with Nada, with Tanya, and with Tina, 3 wonderful women of transformation who talk about their dark spots and how light casts out dark and how love casts out fear in their lives. Having said this, have a great day, and I say bye. I'm having such a hard time to say goodbye in the end, but I do say goodbye. Bye.